You know, now with the whole Epstein shit that's been recently coming out, bruh, I'm not gonna lie, bro, the shit's been pissing me off, bro. The more I see it, the more I get mad. And it's crazy because these same politicians that are in these files, they're laughing about it. They think it's funny. They think they're never gonna get caught. They genuinely think that they're safe. I don't know why they think that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? When you have a world that is ran by a cabal of PDF files, right? I mean, you might be a little arrogant, you know what I'm saying? But we got ourselves a Voidzilla video. Is this a joke to them?
I am increasingly disgusted by the—
Oh, by the way, Donald Trump has been mentioned over 1 million times in the Epstein files, unredacted.
way this is all a big joke to liars like Howard Lutnick, who deceived the American public about the status of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
That guy was there. I wasn't going.
Now
I never believed that nigga.
he testifies under oath that he actually went to the island of the creep and brought his kids.
We had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children.
Nevertheless, every time Epstein is brought up, this guy can't stop chuckling.
This is a guy who, like, this guy right here, this guy, he lived next to Epstein for like years and years and years.
Here's Lutnick laughing again when Trump is addressing a question about Epstein.
To talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation.
I don't know. I could ask you that question.
He thinks it's the funniest thing he's ever heard. And maybe
I mean, they are a bunch of sadists. So
it's because they really think we are buying it. Maybe it's because they think, hey, we're just gonna get away with this. We can just keep it's so the lies are so brazen.
But here's the thing, though. Most people are looking at this shit, and it's the same reaction this guy has. Me personally, I think these people in the Epstein files, you should all get the death penalty. You don't deserve to live. I really mean that.
Audacious, so in your face that it is actually funny to them. And you know what? I have to agree that the way the FBI and DOJ have been treating this is a joke. Because we just talked to a congressman who passed the Epstein Transparency Act. As part of it, the DOJ was supposed to release all the Epstein files with no redactions except for survivors. That didn't happen. Several of the survivors' names were left unredacted, and several of the perpetrators' names were left redacted.
Is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names.
Bro, why did I see a clip with Epstein, like, undressing, like, a underage girl or some shit? Of course, it was censored, right? But, like, what the fuck?
Not to release.
It's not fake, y'all. This shit is not fake. These people, this global elites, they're laughing at us. They think they're gonna get away with this. They think it's a joke.
What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. The title of this one is Child Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted.
But in response to criticism that they had over-redacted, they said, hey, we're so transparent, we're going to let you guys come and see the unredacted files to the congressman. The problem is, guess what happened when those congressmen showed up? The unredacted files, many of them, were redacted underneath the redaction. There were 2 layers of redactions. By the time the DOJ got them, they were already redacted. So what they're looking at is an unredacted, redacted copy of the Epstein files. This is at the same time that the FBI has a government project to build a next generation redaction tool where they claim they need multi-layer.
Oh, yeah. You know why they need that. You know why they need that. Because they fucking suck at doing what the fuck they're doing. And there's gonna... Eventually, the full shit will get released, y'all. I promise you. It will get released. Unredacted and everything. Without all this dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, it will.
Their redaction management.
Because we will make them.
And you can see it here where a representative talks about getting to see
the search function didn't actually work. Half the stuff I was looking for was still redacted. We couldn't write on files we brought in. Or even use post-it notes. Just notes on legal pad. We shared 4 computers, so much for transparency. Yeah, it just gets to a point where we just might have to force these niggas to release it.
Unredacted files. He says the search function didn't actually work. Half the stuff I was looking for was still redacted. We couldn't write on files we brought in. We shared 4 computers for 435 members of Congress. So what is this actually? This is transparency theater. This is not real transparency. It is actually a joke. Here's another joke. The FBI just concluded again.
It's the elites are pissing on our face, and it's pissing. That's what they're doing.
That Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a
That's what this
ring
is.
for powerful men. But when the public was asked about this just the other day, 94% believe that he was. So obviously there's a huge gap between what the FBI says they believe and what the public, who has now at this point seen most.
They're pissing in our face, and they're telling us it's pissing. That's what they're doing. That's what these people are doing. They know they've been exposed. They don't care because they think that because they're these global elites, they don't even view us as human. You know what I mean? I'm not going to explain what's in the Epstein files. Y'all have seen it yourselves. They eat babies and shit and all that kind of crazy, and they serve Moloch, the owl god, or whatever the fuck. That god is not going to save y'all niggas, bro. It's fucking not,
the
bro.
Same files say they believe. If anything, the FBI by definition would have access to more evidence. And yet with the files that we already do have, 94% of the public say, yeah, Epstein obviously was trafficking, but the FBI, of course, isn't investigating new parties. They say there's no evidence for it.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein?
We just got to keep pushing for this Epstein shit, bro. Eventually, they'll cave in, bro. These people are not as strong, as powerful, and confident as you think that they are. They are pussy. They are pussy.
Trafficked
I
these
know they are.
young women too, besides himself.
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And
Lying under oath, by the way.
the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
Okay, even if you believe what he says, after the revelation that the FBI themselves thought there were 4 co-conspirators in the previous draft indictment, they later said they thought they had 10 co-conspirators. Now you're supposed to believe, nope, no women were trafficked to any of these people. Epstein was working
But guys, wait. The immigrants, the trans people, thugs in Chicago. That's the big problem, y'all. It's that.
alone. It might be surprising to learn then that the DOJ and FBI under Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, who ran on the idea of releasing these files, have not talked to people who say they were victimized by Jeffrey Epstein. This was brought out 2 different times. I want to watch both of them with you because it's astonishing to hear someone say, we have no credible evidence on other perpetrators, only to learn you never talked to the women who were allegedly trafficked.
At the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
Keep fucking pushing. Keep doing this.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is
invite
the
all
answer yes or
investigative
no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were abused and
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
an-
side that I am not manhunting
Oh my
child
god.
traffickers, just look at your
Oh my
stats.
god.
And you
Yo, Kash Patel, bro, this is not gonna end well for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? These elites, they probably got a gun to your back of your family's neck. They probably fucking do.
You talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
you
this
talk
is
about
my time, and
cover-ups.
I'm going to stop it there. It just devolves. He refuses to answer the question of, did you actually meet with these women? Luckily
Answer
for
the
us,
question.
some of those same people later showed up at another hearing, this time in a hearing with Pam Bondi.
survivors in the room. If you are willing, please stand.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Clap it
And
up,
if
y'all.
you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every
You know, it's crazy because the victims are like randomly disappearing. They committed suicide, right?
single
crazy.
survivor has raised their hand.
Yeah, it's honestly shocking to see. There's these people who are claiming to be victims of Epstein. The DOJ and FBI have consistently said, look, we want to take all available evidence. We just need the evidence.
And we have continuously and publicly asked for the public to come forward with more information. If there is, we'll look at it.
And then it's like, well, did you interview these people who say they have evidence? Well, no, actually,
Our government's been
we
compromised.
didn't. This comes up again.
Now, would the survivors and victims who are here please stand up one more time? just by show of hands, how many of you or your loved ones actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and estimate and evidence? None. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually or through a lawyer or representative to offer to provide testimony and evidence? All of them. And of those
I mean, what can you even say to that? This is
Yeah.
a DOJ. This is an
I'm telling y'all, eventually they're going to release it, bro. They're going to crack, bro. You know what I mean? They're going to, bro. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable, bro. And when that shit comes out, bro, say goodbye to America, nigga. Say goodbye to America, nigga.
FBI that claims to be interested in
What
getting
the
to the
fuck?
bottom of the Epstein files, except when actually asked, they cover up, they redact, and they don't ask for victim testimony or evidence. I mean, how can you possibly say you've reached a conclusion as to an investigation when you literally haven't talked to the people who would be a victim of said investigation? Furthermore, how can Kash Patel say under oath, without perjuring himself, that there was no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked to anyone else, when internal emails to 710 Director's Call, it says approximately 4 to 5 victims accused other adult men of abusing them? There was not enough evidence to federally charge these individuals, so the cases were referred to local law enforcement. Again, there's a huge difference between there's no credible evidence.
There is no credible information. None.
I mean, they should have said the files were a hoax, and then apparently it's not. You know what I mean? Not only are these elites retarded, but, you know, they can't do shit right, apparently. And they think they're gonna get away with it. Like, it's so crazy. I don't know what you're laughing for. You know what I mean? I do know what they do have planned. They are building concentration camps. You know what I mean?
And
right?
we couldn't pull charges. I mean, that's a totally different thing. And in that case, isn't the whole point to investigate that? Isn't the whole point to call more of the people saying they have evidence? Isn't that your job? How can the FBI, the DOJ, conclude definitively that Epstein wasn't trafficking to anyone when Jess Staley, during a UK court hearing in 2025, admitted to having with a member of Epstein's staff? He, of course, described it as consensual. But internally within the Epstein files, there's accusations against Jess Staley. One of the files alleges that a victim was left with body marks after an interaction with the former Barclays boss. The disgusting Mr. Staley, if anyone ever calls me Tinkerbell again.
Bro, shout out to Voidzilla for, like, covering this shit, because if he wasn't covering this shit, or he had stopped covering this shit, bro, people might have actually forgot. Like, this nigga pulling in, like, millions and millions and millions and millions, like, tens and millions of views on these videos, bro. So that's a good thing, man.
I will lose
That's
my
good.
mind. Which I know sounds weird that Jess Staley would allegedly refer to a girl as some type of, like, Disney character or cartoon character, but this is
Niggas freak the
consistent
fuck
with
out.
email exchanges. Jess Staley
Beauty
says
and the
that was
Beast.
fun to Jeffrey Epstein. Say hi to Snow White. What character would you like next? Epstein later asks, to which Staley replied,
Yo, these niggas are sick, bruh. Sick fucking work.
Beauty and the Beast. Epstein
Yo.
responded, well, one side is available. Now again, I'm
Okay.
not saying these emails would be enough to charge Jess Staley, but to investigate, almost certainly. It's definitely unconscionable to say there's zero evidence of Epstein trafficking to anyone.
And there's apparently there's like 1,000 videos too. You know what I mean? I mean, Pam Bondi literally said it herself. There's 1,000 videos.
There is no credible information.
Like what?
None.
How can that possibly
Or over
be true
1,000.
when some of your files say 4 or 5 victims accused other men? So it is just totally insane to me the way we are all treating this, where the people in power whose job it is to hold these people accountable, they want to laugh about it, they want to joke, they want you to smile about the whole thing. This actually came to a head when one reporter asked about the survivors.
But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare,
justice, Mr. President?
Something that people
Nigga, healthcare. What the fuck healthcare are you talking about, pussy? Nigga, premium healthcare doesn't even cover shit. These fucking yo, I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I had to okay, so my healthcare, I have, so I went to go get glasses, right? And I have, I'm not gonna say what kind of healthcare I got, but I do got healthcare. You gotta have healthcare, and then you also gotta have, I also have vision insurance, right? Bro, I still had to end up paying like $300 for my fucking glasses. And they're like cheap glasses. They're not even like crazy glasses. And I am, to this day, I have not gotten my fucking glasses back. You know what I'm saying? Well, I get them this week, but I don't know, bro. This whole healthcare shit is ass, bro. My healthcare does not cover shit, bro.
Care about. You are the worst reporter. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your
asking
face.
you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein,
You know why
Mr.
you're not
President.
smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth.
It's honestly baffling. I mean, how are we
What the fuck does that even mean? You never smile. That means you never tell the truth. Hey, you never smile, man. That means you never tell the truth, man.
supposed to act during the Epstein files when we hear about these horrific stories? Are we all supposed to be like Howard Lutnick, just guffawing, laughing it up? How are we supposed to treat this travesty of justice? And again, I want to restate for the millionth time, this is not political, no matter how much the DOJ and FBI try to argue that it is. The
It's
person
not.
we're about to watch, quite
I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, bro. If you were in the Epstein files and you were doing heinous shit, right? You were helping, whatever, a part of, I don't give a fuck. You are getting the death penalty. But, the only political thing I'll say is this, right? Say goodbye to voting. I'm not gonna lie, bro. We not voting your way out of this, bro. This shit's just too big to come out, and they're never gonna let go of power. That's what this is, bro.
questioning Pam Bondi is a Republican. But anytime you say anything negative about the Epstein file handling, which was run on by this administration, they either bounce to, well, you must hate Trump, or the Democrats didn't do it last time, so we shouldn't be expected to do anything either. And you're
I don't give a fuck.
about to see more of that.
Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome.
Literally.
Trump derangement syndrome. You know what's crazy? The people who say that shit like, oh, you have Trump derangement syndrome. You must hate Trump. You have Trump derangement syndrome. You're deranged for his cock. That can't get hard because his nerves are shot in his cock because I mean, a girl bit his cock apparently, right? And he punched her in the mouth, bruh. Deserved, you fat orange fuck. Wearing 50 pounds of makeup on your hands and fucking face, you fucking loser.
We caught you guys redacting a co-conspirator's name.
Yeah,
there's a
bro.
lot more than that they redacted, but it's like, for them to say, oh, what? Oh, it was just...
But Bill Clinton. We know. And then, what's crazy? Bill Clinton was willing to test, and to be honest, I thought that was kind of a distraction. I think they're all on the same team. These politicians, they are all on the same team. It's just one big distraction to delay the inevitable, which is the downfall of this empire, which is called the United States of America. I mean, because after all this shit comes out, we're going to have to rebuild a whole new country from scratch. Like, the reputation is already cooked. When this shit comes out, it's going to be even more fucking cooked.
We put it up when you said so. When you caught us on our 4 computers we allowed you to use with redactions on top of redactions. And Pam
Because they're so fucking retarded.
Bondi's performance here was so bad that at one point she's being asked about, are you bringing any more indictments? Are you investigating anyone? And she jumps back to some pretty bizarre talking points.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
And none of them.
These are the same people that rehearse, like, the congressional... Like, bro, these motherfuckers...
None of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock.
Yo, Bondi, you're terrible at this. Trump's probably gonna fire her and replace her with someone else. I guarantee it very soon. And you're wearing a cross on your fucking neck. Jesus Christ would spit on you. Fuck you.
Stock trader, as I hear Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming.
Bitch, where's my 401k at, prick? Where's mine at? I don't got that. Do you have that? You probably don't. And you probably don't even have good health insurance. And even if you do, that shit ain't covering nothing. Yo, fuck all of you. Fuck all you fucking weirdos protecting billionaires and shit. Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
That's what we should be talking about.
Oh my god, please upgrade those bunkers, bro. Please upgrade those fucking bunkers, bro. It's not gonna fucking save you.
Talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does the Dow have to do with anything?
Concentration camps.
Are you kidding?
No, I do want to know, what does the Dow have to do with Jeffrey Epstein victims? I truly don't understand that. So yeah, this whole thing was a complete disaster of a meltdown. They're treating it as an absolute joke, and they criticize you if you don't smile like Howard Lutnick when he's caught lying about the Epstein files. And while I can't personally muster that kind of energy,
Guys, it's not that deep, man.
do want to talk about some more of the revelations in the Epstein file. Like the most
They're laughing and shit, but deep down, I know they're terrified, bro. I know they're fucking terrified.
Most noteworthy is that Trump called the Palm Beach Police Department immediately after Epstein was arrested, according to a police chief that was interviewed in 2019. He says back when he arrested Epstein the first time, Trump called him and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Saying about
Man, shut your bitch ass
Maxwell,
up.
she's evil, and to focus on her, according to the police chief, Trump was one of the first people to call. Julie K. Brown said that when Trump called the chief, it was after the Epstein story became public, when Epstein was arrested.
Yeah, one little file. You know, all the other shit that's in the file that this motherfucker Trump was doing. You know, it's just completely forgiven. Like, what the fuck is this, bro?
This actually goes a long way to explain
What the fuck is
Speaker
this?
Mike Johnson's previous comments that Trump blew the whistle to the FBI to stop Epstein.
He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
It's obvious that he probably just misunderstood that it was an FBI interview of a police chief. And that at the time, it was the Palm Beach Police Department handling that case. And I think that even for the...
And that motherfucker Trump willing to sell out anybody. If y'all don't know, Trump is known for just putting other people on blast to boost his own reputation. He's known for that shit, bro. He's a scammer. He's a con man. He's a loser.
People who say, okay, that's just because they had a falling out over real estate or anything like that. I think it undoubtedly is a good look for Donald Trump and clearly something they're going to hang on to as more of these files get released.
And we're going to see more heinous shit of what the fuck they were doing.
We also have something that kind of goes the other way. Remember the Wall Street Journal birthday book story, which Trump said is absolutely false and he's suing over? We have a B-Day book update sent in 2002 when the book was supposedly drafted. And we see LM for blank, George Mitchell, Donald Trump, Henry Jarecki, and Leon Black, which definitely undermines his case, defamation case, against the Wall Street Journal. I think another interesting component of this was realizing that...
Also, this nigga Trump said, like, he doesn't draw. There's literally paintings or drawing. There's literally, Trump has drawings and museums in New York. If y'all don't know that. I don't get it. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious. They are all implicated. They are all weirdos.
Jeffrey Epstein was secretly buying motion-detected hidden cameras that record, and one of the people who said they were installing them said they were installing them into Kleenex boxes. There's another email from Jeffrey Epstein where he
was gonna blackmail because he's a Mossad agent for Israel.
Claims to need a button camera for the Sultan. Once again, highlighting that this case about Jeffrey Epstein is also a bizarre case of power. Who did this guy work for? He talks about
for Israel
going to an SCIF, which might be an acronym for a sensitive compartmented information facility. Later, he says that Ehud Barak is with me. You would have loved my tech.
So Israel, Barak. That was the guy that was the prime minister before Netanyahu, right?
Meeting in the SCIF. This is an intelligence term, which is usually something you need the ability to receive classified information for. Although it's not clear because later Epstein says that his house is similar to an SCIF. So the connection to the government is not exactly bulletproof. I don't want to give the false impression that it was. But it does raise a bunch of questions, like Bradley Edwards, one of the victims.
This bodyguard has been sent by Epstein to Virginia to CIA headquarters, nervously telling me the story. He said, I don't know, I didn't know why I was there, but he told me they would take care of me. I attended a class for a week. At the beginning of the class, everyone had introduced themselves. There were 45 people, 44 people were in the CIA or some other government unit with top secret clearance. I was the only private citizen. Everyone introduced themselves, and the instructor saved me for last. He did not let me introduce myself. Instead, he just introduced me as what he called a special operative. He explained that he would attend the class for the week, book, and a personalized
lawyers actually speaks about this in his book. He said that this bodyguard had been sent by Epstein to Virginia to CIA headquarters. Nervously telling me the story, the bodyguard said, I don't know why I was there, but he told me they would take care of me. I attended a class for a week. At the beginning of the class, everyone had to introduce themselves. There were 45 people. 44 were in the CIA or some other government unit with top secret clearance. I was the only private citizen. So clearly there's some indication, some testimony to the fact that Epstein may have had access to either classified briefings or he had some pool with the CIA. Now, we might know about this because there was actually a FOIA.
Well, Trump is compromised by the CIA, the KGB, and Mossad.
To the CIA about Jeffrey Epstein. Ironically, it was from Jeffrey Epstein. This is Jason Leopold saying the Epstein filed FOIA requests with the CIA in which he sought documents that would show that he had a, quote, open affiliation with the CIA between 1999 and 2011, and NSA for documents relating or referring to himself. Epstein did not receive any records. Instead, he got GLOMARS. That just refers to a term that basically they neither confirmed or denied it because they said that doing so would reveal, quote, a classified connection to the CIA, and thus the CIA cannot...
I mean, you also got to remember Bill Clinton was involved with Epstein, so...
confirm or deny the existence of records responsive to your request. Therefore, you may consider this portion a denial of your request pursuant to FOIA exemptions. More specifically, they say, we search the CIA originated responsive records that might reflect an open or otherwise acknowledged agency affiliation. So these are also the important questions we need answers to, but it's hard to get them when everything is treated as a joke, when nobody takes this seriously. So yeah, all in all, this is a very...
Eventually, they will cave in. They will cave in eventually. It will happen. You know, there's a reason why these people are building bunkers, upgrading the bunkers and shit, stealing all the wealth for themselves. There's a reason why they're doing that, bro. They're delaying the inevitable. They know eventually the shit's gonna come out. People are gonna get more and more mad. People just... This is the one thing, you guys, we can't let go of because it's just too big. It's too big, bro. But what do y'all think about this shit, bro? Me personally, I think he was involved with Mossad and CIA and the KGB. They all had intel, not just Trump, but many other politicians. And because of that, you know, it gives them power within our government. And that's what happened, I think. I think that's what it is, bro. You know, Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent sent from Israel by Netanyahu. You know what I'm saying? Or Barack. I don't know which one of the two. But what do y'all think about this, man? I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, and good night, man. Love you, man. I mean, they think this is a joke, but they're not gonna get away with it, and the buggers ain't gonna save up. But see y'all, man. Peace.